Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. What a conflicting franchise you are. You have some greatness, and then you have some not so greatness. One of the first movies I ever remember watching is Empire Strikes Back on a portable DVD player. Anyone remember those things? So, being that I've seen all the movies, I wanted to rank them. I'm not including the series in here only because I haven't seen most of them. There's just so many, so much to catch up on. It's a hard thing to do. I know most of what happens in them because of social media, but I haven't seen most of them, so I can't really give my opinion on them. So, we got a tier list here. S, A, B, C, and D. Starting with Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones. You know, I honestly like Attack of the Clones more than most people do. Kinda get the hate for the movie. It's cringy dialogue sometimes. Anakin's a bit of a weirdo. It's honestly not that bad though. Like for a guy that doesn't know anything about anything, he was just kind of a slave on a desert planet his whole life. What do you expect him to do when he has his first crush? Hot take here, I like Jango Fett more than Boba. It's truly not a terrible movie. It's really not as bad as people make it out to be. I honestly think the prequel should have started here. This should have been episode 1. Episode 1 to me is kind of worthless, but the grade for Attack of the Clones. Where would I put it? A C. Because I do feel like there is one worse Star Wars movie. Like I said, it's not great, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Now, for what I consider to be the best Star Wars movie, well, that's arguable. Empire Strikes Back. Man, what more can I say about this movie that already hasn't been said? This is an S-tier film if I've ever seen one. So much happens in this film. Luke goes off to train to be a Jedi. We meet Yoda. Han and the rest of the crew are being chased down by the Empire. They get captured by the Empire at Cloud City. We meet Lando. Vader is a badass. Boba Fett, for the little bit of screen time that he has, is pretty damn cool. And we get the best reveal in movie history of I am your father. Leaves us on a giant cliffhanger for Return of the Jedi. This is one of the greatest films ever made. There's always something happening in it, and I love it. Like I said, truly an S-tier film if I've ever seen one. Now, Force Awakens. I was hyped about this because due to my age, this was the first Star Wars movie I got to see in theaters. Oh boy, the hype was real at that time. It's a good one. It is really good. Probably the best of the sequel trilogy, but that's not really saying much.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
It's essentially a retread of New Hope, and I really like New Hope. A great film. I enjoyed Rey as a character at the start. Interesting story to go down. An orphan who's destined for greatness. Where have we heard that before? Kylo Ren, throughout this whole sequel trilogy, is the best written character throughout. He's got the most character development, has the most interesting character throughout it. Darth Vader Jr., kinda. I liked him. Now, Finn, a stormtrooper that realizes he's doing wrong. This could have been great. It really could have. I don't know why they went the route they did. We're just kind of dropping the story from the start because you had a really interesting deal going there. But no, they're just like, yeah, you know, we got something good? Nah, screw it. The main trio comes back in this one, yes. For a whole, 3 seconds until the next movie. Han was really fun to have back. Chewie was great to have back. Luke was great for the whole 3 seconds he was there. Leia was fun. Maybe, okay, they could have built better on it. Right, maybe this movie isn't as great as I'm giving it credit for. But you know what is a great moment in there that I've always loved? BB-8's little thumb up. I always thought that was cute. I always thought that was great. But to actually grade the film, I feel like I like it more than Attack of the Clones. So it's a high C as of now, but we'll see by the end. Oh boy, Last Jedi. The love-hate relationship I have with you. Loved you at the time, hate you now. They had hope with the setup of Force Awakens, setting this one directly up. But no, they just dropped the ball at that point. At the moment, Luke throwing the lightsaber was kind of funny, but then once you think about it for like a second, it's kind of like, why would he do that? Luke is not the same person at all. I get it. You kind of age, you would change a little bit throughout times. No, this is a completely different dude. Rey's training with him is not that interesting. You find out why Kylo turned evil, but also the reason he turns evil doesn't really make sense. Ooh, he had a bad dream. So you're telling me Luke Skywalker, the guy that saw greatness in the most evil man at the time, Darth Vader, he couldn't see anything Kylo Ren because he had a nightmare? Yeah, don't go to Han, don't go to Leia. Don't tell him, hey, your kid is kind of acting a little strange, you might want to talk to him. Nah, straight kill him. Luke Skywalker of old would have never have done that. What was with the Casino Planet arc with Finn and Rose? That was really dumb. That weird forced kiss at the end. Odd. The only part I really like about this movie is the fact that Ben and Luke have a fight at the end. Thought that was kind of cool. Luke basically force projecting himself all the way across a galaxy and trying to hold off time for the Resistance. Like, how was the end of this film good, but everything else from beginning to middle kind of shit? Good potential there. There's some good moments there, but I don't see greatness in there. Now, for the glorious film that started it all. The movie that should have been a failure, but remarkably was not. The franchise that we have today, for good or for bad. A New Hope. I've heard people say that this movie is kind of slow. I've heard say it's not that great. It's definitely like the second best of the trilogy compared to Empire, which I can kind of agree with. It's still really good. It gives us an introduction to these characters, gives us world building. It's a little slow in the first like 20-30 minutes, a little bit, but you're building the characters, you're building the world, you're building a galaxy. I'm going S. I like Empire a bit more, but Star Wars: A New Hope, originally known as Star Wars, is a beautiful film. Film that, to me, is probably the worst of the franchise, but there is a couple redeeming qualities. Phantom Menace? I'm getting straight to it. This movie is straight dog ass. I'm going straight in D tier. I actually prefer Last Jedi over it. At least Last Jedi has some good stuff in it, potential in it. Why did they start the prequels here? I've always felt like they should have just started right at Attack of the Clones. That would have made the most sense. Jar Jar, from here on out, is useless. Qui-Gon's kind of cool, I'll give him that. Liam Neeson's great in the role. And I do like the fact they do bring his presence back throughout the series. That's pretty cool. Anakin's a kid. Why? The only redeeming things I find great in this film are Darth Maul, which he was not built upon at all from there on. It took the Clone Wars and Rebels to actually do that, and the presence that Qui-Gon had afterwards, after his death. But other than that, this movie is insanely boring. It's got nothing but political talk. You want to watch people walk down a hall and talk? This is the frickin' movie for you right here. I haven't gone back and watched this in a long time. I'm kind of glad I haven't. Now to go from some negatives to a positive. Return of the Jedi. I like Return of the Jedi a lot more than other people do. People say it's the weakest of the original trilogy, which, yeah, it kind of is, I guess. It's still really, really, really damn good. A great conclusion to an amazing trilogy. Hot take here, I like the Ewoks. I kind of think they're funny, and they're cute. Breaking Han out of Jabba's palace, and them getting captured and finding their way out of there from that point on. Is it a flawed movie? Yeah, definitely. But the final fight between Luke, Vader...
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
One of the few things I don't like is Han just being completely cool, being completely all buddy-buddy with Lando at that point. Like, why, dude? That dude betrayed you. So, should be a little mad at him, but they just gloss over that. The Luke telling Leia that she is his sister. Pretty impactful. Little odd considering you know what happened beforehand. And this scene right here, I love. I love a good scene of the hero just talking with the villain. I've always loved that kind of scene. You get the redemption of Vader, get the Empire ending, and the world, the galaxy, coming to peace at this point. It's a great ending. It's a great happy ending for all. I love it so much. Is it the least best of the trilogy? Yeah, for sure. But it's still really, really, really damn good. And for that reason, I'm putting Return of the Jedi in A tier. Now, Rogue One. I haven't seen it since it came out, but man, I remember nothing but greatness about this film. I really like the cast of misfits that we got. Jyn Erso was awesome. I love her connection to the father who built the Death Star. That's a great inclusion. Cassian Andor was an awesome Han Solo-esque character who I've heard his series is nothing but great and I gotta check out. K2SO was probably the funniest droid that we've seen. We get a Force-sensitive monk. That's pretty damn cool. And Vader. Vader was a badass in this. Now, hot take here. Vader was always a badass bad guy. At least to me, he wasn't always as awesome as people made him out to be until this point onwards, when the comics and the books and more of the movies and shows started showcasing the greatness that he could have been. Because he was a calculating bad guy. He would play with you, he would kind of play with his food, but I never felt like he was that presence that people made him out to be until this point. That hallway scene is amazing. For characters that you only got to know for a short time, man, you get emotionally attached to these guys. It's pretty heartbreaking to see them die when they inevitably do. I thought Rogue One was awesome. At the time I thought it was great, and now I think it's great. Definitely need to go back and rewatch it. So, for that reason, in B tier, first B tier, this film right here is what got me started to love Star Wars. This movie has always stayed with me. This movie has always emotionally impacted me. Revenge of the Sith is amazing. We finally see Anakin's turn to the dark side. We finally see the reason why. We get some amazing scenes in this. We get some iconic scenes in this. We get some iconic moments. We get some meme-worthy moments.
Hello there.
And we get the awesome General Grievous in this. We get the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin building, and then inevitably falling. Nothing but non-stop action going on. Always something happening in this film. It's emotionally driven. It's got beautiful music. It's got beautiful scenes. I just love Revenge of the Sith so much. I'm so glad it got re-released because I'm pretty sure I didn't get to see it in theaters. If I did, I don't remember. It got re-released earlier this year, and seeing that in theaters was just made me love the film even more. I already knew what happened. Greatness as it was. To me, to most others I've talked to about Star Wars, and from what I've heard online, this is the best Star Wars film, and I am in complete agreement with that. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I say it's the best. I say it's top S tier. Solo, a Star Wars story. How the potential you had. Now, I like Han Solo as a character. In fact, I love Han Solo as a character, but I don't think he needed an origin story film. It could have been great. It really could have. There was some great stuff in here. There really was. But there was also a lot of dumb moments in here. I haven't seen it in a minute since it came out. There was no reason to bring Darth Maul back. I get it, it's to expand upon the lore, but it never went anywhere. The reason how he got his name of Han Solo, because he didn't have a last name, someone in the Empire was just like, you know what, yeah, you're alone? Alright, Solo. Let's be honest, pretty dumb. It's very much at least to me, it's a C tier list kind of film. It's not very memorable, but like it's kind of cool that it exists in the same lore, but also it just doesn't really do anything with expanding upon the lore. It had so much potential, but not much payoff. And last, but certainly not least, Rise of Skywalker, which by the title doesn't really make sense. I don't love this film. I don't hate it. It's got some good moments in there. They fly now! Kind of funny, I'll give it that. The little adventure that Finn, Poe, and Chewie go on is a fun little side quest. Rey's training to defeat Kylo and the evil that is within is not bad. I don't mind it. Kylo Ren, Ben Solo's arc is pretty good. Like I said, I feel like he is the best written character of this sequel trilogy. But man, after Last Jedi, after Solo, 2 disappointments in my eyes. 2 not great films, 2 potentially great, but really just missed the mark films. I wanted to be excited for this, and I went opening night hoping for greatness. Did I get greatness? No. But I didn't get shit either. So in that case, I'm putting Rise of Skywalker, with the stupid ending that it has. Rey, you're not a Skywalker, you're a Palpatine. Putting it in C tier. It's not a great film, but I like it more than Solo. But compared to Force Awakens, which was probably the best of the trilogy, and Attack of the Clones, which is really not as bad as people make it out to be. That's my tier list. That is my ranking for the Star Wars films as a lifelong fan. I love Star Wars. You got some great stuff, but you got some terrible stuff too. It's a very conflicting franchise, but nothing is ever going to be perfect. Let me know what you think of my list, and what's your ranking of the Star Wars films? Let me know in the comments below. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay sexy.